Welcome back, dear viewers, to Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Here we are, the last video for good or for ill of Granite Grant, the Petrodigitator. We have every single one of the Runes of Zot, the decaying, serpentine, slimy, silver, golden, iron, obsidian, icy bone, abyssal, demonic, glowing, magical, fiery, and dark Runes of Zot. This is my first 15 rune run ever, and we're about to win. A quick recap: we are super strong, we are a juggernaut, we are nigh invincible, and we are about to grab this orb and dash up to the top. We're going to eat this meat ration, so we are engorged, we are on a full stomach, we're ready for this. We're going to grab it. Hi-ya! Lords of Pandemonium are not amused. Beware. Yeah. Fortunately, Chabritos tells them not to hurry, so... Well, that's an ill omen. Within 2 steps, we bump into a ghost moth and lose all our mana. Yeah. So the orb is constantly screaming at us, and at everything else. Oh, Lords of Pandemonium. Which one is this? This is, Ruki-hoo-hoo. Ruki-hoo-hoo? I don't know. Has a wave-like body with hairy wings, anyway, and is surrounded by a sickening stench. We are surrounded by the miasma of the orb, and we'll smash him in the face. He is not the first Pandemonium Lord we have killed. He may not be the last, either. Some others get frisky on our way out here. This moment right here is why... Oh, jeez. Fige. Glassy body hovers in midair. Well, let's see. Oh, jeez. Let's just pop upstairs, shall we? And beat up Fige. Oh, man. A lot of Pandemonium Lords. Well, we'll keep on trucking. Fortunately, Chabritos slows the spawn rate down somewhat of Eldritch horrors from beyond the abyss. It's a bone dragon and not a dragon skeleton. That is a key difference. Bone dragons are not mindless undead. They can follow you up staircases, up and down. Whereas things like dragon skeletons, I do not believe have that capability. I know for sure that summoned undead or reanimated undead does not follow, nor do summoned creatures. Alright. As I was about to say earlier, before I interrupted myself, this is the reason why you explore every single staircase that you can. Ooh, yeah, for moments like this where you may not want to take a certain route. Okay. See, I didn't know where that staircase came out, and so things may have been a little hairy there had I emerged somewhere too inconvenient. Ooh, Shadow Demon, alright, we're getting there. Oh, and Executioner. Blat. Alright, let's keep going. I know I don't like taking it, but if they're right next to you, I mean, you still want to take the nearest staircase, generally. Lahif. Hairy body, small bat-like wings. Well, we'll smack you out of the sky there, Lahif. Just bashing down demon lords. Oh, geez. We should actually take just a second to put on... switch out our resistances here. There we go. Whew, that could have been scary. We had no cold resistance there. If we had bumped into a Pandemonium Lord with a strong cold attack, could have just, you know, two-shot us without us even really knowing what was going on. Was still in the Gehenna mindset, I guess. Ooh, alright, we can do it. We're getting there. 10 more levels. 8. Kind of want to grab that shield that Charitos doesn't like, but we'll stay the course. This shield was so cool. But we couldn't use it because of the rage. The berserk ability that it gives you. Dude, freed slave. We better get out of here, man. This place is coming down. We're escaping with the orb. Imagine like the ceiling's rumbling, the walls are shaking, like shattering all over the place. The dungeon rumbles. Crash. The dungeon rumbles around us. The orb shrieks in our hands. Guardians boiling forth from the very ether itself as we dash towards the entrance. And by dash, I mean walk very, very slowly. We step into a teleport trap to throw off our pursuers. It brings us somewhat closer to our goal. Brimstone fiend bears down on us, but before he can open his stinking mouth, we blast him with a giant spear of crystal. Torn from our very gargoyle-y body, we have become diamond. We are invincible juggernaut. We are Granite Grant. Demons spawn ache for the power of the orb, but we will deny it to them. A glimpse of light, a ray of hope. This is the staircase leading out of the dungeon, and we have escaped. Ba, 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 ba. Oh no, I wanted to see the, well, we can go here. Wow. Well, that's a high score right there. I will have to compare that to my scores on my other victories. This is on a different machine, but I will have to compare it. We escaped with the orb and all 15 runes. Huh. Wow. 30 hours. I think one day. Wow, that's so cool. We won. We won, dear viewers. We visited 19 branches of the dungeon, saw 98 of its levels. Visited Pandemonium 7 times and saw 21 of its levels. We visited the Abyss 8 times, visited 2 ziggurats, completing 1, and saw 47 of their levels. And we also visited a sewer and a bailey. We collected 20,000 gold pieces and spent 3,907 at shops. Oh, wow. The morgue files are so neat. It's just so detailed on everything that you acquired, where you found it, exactly what it does, or at least the artifacts. It tells you where you found it. It keeps track of where those were created. Man, very, very cool. Yeah, and we ended up using stuff from kind of all throughout the game, seems like. I mean, generally from the Elven Halls onward. Those are the strongest areas anyway. Yeah, we had some really good stuff. Handful of maxed out skills: fighting, armor, dodging, spellcasting, conjurations, fire magic, and earth magic. With maces and flails and shields, both really close. We only had one wasted spell level. Could have gotten apportation. That would have been an excellent utility spell to add to the repertoire, having one spell level, but we didn't really need it. I feel like this set of spells is very close to ideal. The only thing that I would change... The only thing that I would change is that I would really want to have the Servitor, the Ensorcelled Servitor, the... Oh, what is it? Spellforged Servitor. It's a summoning conjuration spell, level 7. And it's a summoned creature that follows you around and casts spells for you. It has access to all of your spells, though it is not as powerful. It doesn't cast them with as much strength. Spellforged Servitor, yeah. Maybe it doesn't have access to all of your spells, maybe only level 7 and lower, but regardless, a good number of spells, and I would probably do that instead of Controlled Blink. No, that's just because I never used it. Oh, I did have Apportation memorized. I'm not sure what other level 1 spells, maybe Summon Butterflies. Maybe instead of Dragon's Call, because that would free up 2 other spell levels and allow you to memorize a 3rd level spell. There are probably some 3rd level spells that you could use. And Spellforged Servitor would be maybe as powerful as Dragon's Call, but more versatile. More, you summon it once and can rely on it for a little while, as opposed to the sort of variable number and type of dragons called by Dragon's Call. Yeah, I think for the variabilities, for the sake of reducing variability, I would swap out Dragon's Call for Spellforged Servitor and 1 3rd level spell, or any number of... I'm sure I could find a 3rd level spell that would suit our purposes some. I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But yeah, that's the only change I would make. And even then, arguably this is better. The dragons are pretty sweet, and having something that continuously summons allies is also very good. So I would not fault anyone for running exactly this set of spells every single time. I think this is an excellent thing to work towards. The reason why I say this is because we have a reliable but expensive escape method, an unreliable but very, very cheap escape method, in Control Blink and Blink, Orb of Destruction for long range, maximal range, full line of sight, massive damage, and can also be used. It can have some utility because it can blow up some walls. So, not just a boom boom spell, although it is an excellent one. Not good at short range, but for short range we have Lehudib's Crystal Spear and Iron Shot. Deflect missiles, I think, should be on every character that is capable of casting it, unless you are a super low intelligence, super heavy armor character. You get deflect missiles castable. It's worth every single skill point. Apportation, I don't think we used more than once or twice, but still very handy. one keen use of it is to apport an item to you that you will then use in the fight ahead of you, or the fight you're currently having. Either one is clever. Aura of Abjuration, another almost must-have spell. It and Deflect Missiles, I feel, negate a solid fifth to a third. Yeah, somewhere between a fifth and a third of the total potential damage of enemies throughout the course of the game. Between deflecting all types of ranged attacks, including things like bolt spells, which can't be blocked by shields, are otherwise very difficult to avoid. They go through your summoned meat shields. Yeah, Deflect Missiles deals with them. Aura of Abjuration just gets rid of... I mean, it insta-kills so many monsters over the course of the game. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of monsters that, you know, otherwise could have made our lives extremely, extremely difficult, or, well, caused our lives to be ended. Yeah, that is my new all-star tier 1. Get this if you have even the remotest chance of being able to cast it spell. It and Deflect Missiles I will try and get every single game from now on. Unless, you know, I'm not doing any spell casting, which is perfectly legitimate, and you probably have some cool evocation stuff to help you out in that case. But these spells are still awesome. Get them. Iron Shot and Lehudibs for close range. Getting both because the extra tile really does make a huge difference. You know, Orb of Destruction is 8 tiles. That's, you know, maximal line of sight. Bolt of Fire is 7, Iron Shot is 6, and Lehudibs is 5, I think. I think that's how it works. Maybe it's shifted down 1 for all of them, but regardless, having options is nice. I generally would, I mean, given the choice between Iron Shot and Lehudibs, if something's in range for either, I would almost always cast Lehudibs, unless I was planning a specific use of mana points that would require me to use Iron Shot. Just because the damage on Lehudibs is so much greater. Interesting to note that we did not max out our spell power on anything, really. We had pretty close to it when we had the Wild Magic mutation, which increased our spell power but decreased our increased our spell power and our spell failure rate, to put it that way. And that was really cool. I was very sad when we acquired some negative mutations that were unacceptable, and I had to cleanse off the Wild Magic. We actually got that twice over the course of the game, and I think it's reasonable. I mean, mutations are so difficult to control in this game unless you're a demon spawn, and even then it's unpredictable. You don't know what you're going to get until you see it. I don't know. It feels like that's something worth trying to get. But even with 47 intelligence and whatnot, 27 in the relevant skills, there was still room for more spell power. So probably a pure caster, maybe, that could not rely on melee damage like we did. Probably want to find a robe of the Archmagi, or Archmagi, however you want to pronounce it. I usually say Archmagi. Anyway, or maybe it's robe of the Archmage. I ramble. It enhances your spell power greatly, and there are staves that do the same. We could have used any one of those methods, but because we were hybrid, because Chabritos allowed us to split really, really well, I think that was pretty neat. As far as our weapons go, I mean, the maces and flails as a gargoyle, because of the high aptitude, was nice. It was fine. Or not the high aptitude, but the, +1 aptitude. That was fine. I think next patch, in 0.15 where they remove that +1 aptitude and it's just neutral 0 aptitude, I would probably go something like axes, conceivably long blades. Yeah, and maybe even for sure long blades, but I would certainly consider axes, which I believe are both at a -1, maybe a -2. I don't know. I would probably not go maces and flails again if I had the choice, because while it was fine, it was strong, I don't think we were dealing quite as much damage as we were capable of, and a lot of we had excellent single target damage in Lehudib's Crystal Spear and Iron Shot, and even to some extent in Firebolt. But um, our multiple target effects were all very expensive. Firestorm and Shatter and Dragon's Call to some extent. Bolt of Fire is somewhat less so, but it's a little bit more unwieldy, a little bit less wieldy. So yeah, I like the idea of axes, which would allow us to just damage a bunch of different things in those crowd control situations. Get a bunch of different procs from Venom or Electrocution or whatever. What else? Oh, and long blades, just because there's some really strong one-handed long blades that you can use with a shield. Chabriados dexterity strength bonus benefits them greatly, as opposed to I mean, we got some out of dexterity, we got some evasion out of it, basically, and a very tiny amount of damage. A very small percentage of our damage came from dexterity. But with a long blade, it would be more balanced. We would get a higher benefit from that. Anyway, did every single level there was. I mean, Pandemonium's infinite, so we could have kept going in there, done as many ziggurats as we wanted, but I wanted to do the 15 rune run, not risk a dangerous death in a ziggurat. Someday maybe I'll do a marathon. I had the idea for a charity drive, doing a dungeon crawl marathon, trying to play until I win. Just start streaming and take donations for a charity of some sort, maybe I don't know, Women's Resource Center or something. And yeah, just, try and get a single character all the way to the end. Or if I have a lot of free time on my hands, play until I get a character all the way to the end. That could be rough. I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah, message history gives us our last page of text. That's that's what it would look like in the console version, the ASCII version. I have never tried. I've never even tried the ASCII version. It just seems. I mean, I think at this point maybe I'd be able to recognize everything. It's just the tiles make it so easy to at a glance know how strong something is. Though there are some cool things about the ASCII version, like the 4 right there is that orange demon that we were seeing at the end. It just, any number is the relevant tier of demon. So, a 2-pip, like 2 pips of the star, or tier 4 demon, second to worst. Yeah, whereas like the strongest ones would be a 1. Anyway, vanquished creatures. Antaeus is the most powerful, followed by Asmodeus, Cerebov, the Royal Jelly. That's very interesting that Krull considers the Royal Jelly to be the 4th most dangerous creature in the game. Because I feel like we killed pretty much everything. I mean, there may have been some other unique monsters. scattered throughout Pandemonium, but I think we got the biggies. So Royal Jelly, tough, don't forget it. Ignacio. I don't really remember Ignacio. We only had to fight 2 orbs of fire. That's very interesting. It's also very interesting that it's that high up for being on Zot 5. I mean, I generally consider Zot 5 to be easier than Pandemonium, but clearly orbs of fire are, just right up there with some of the other biggies. Scarier than Dissolution and Khufu, which those are both tough. Dissolution was the crazy spellcasting slime, and Khufu was the just really painful, really painful mummy. 14 ancient liches, 30 greater mummies, Saint Roca, Boris, those are right up there. A seraph, yeah, the seraph was the sort of, I guess, boss of the Shining One's temple up in heaven. 8 cursed toes. Soyobo. A silver star. Huh. It's just so cool to me to look at this list and see the game's estimation of the strength of these things. I don't know what it uses as its metric. Presumably some combination of hit dice and ability. There's probably some hidden value in there somewhere. I don't know. 7 golden dragons, 25 bone dragons. Bone dragons, strong. It's a Tahua, yeah. I'm kind of sad we didn't encounter the Leonin Hydra this run. That's a really cool, unique monster. I would like to actually kill it someday. I fought it once, and we fought to a standstill, and I had to... I think maybe I stepped from time. Maybe I was a Chabriados follower. I don't recall. I think it was on Slitherface. And I never found it again. I tried to explore the level to fight it, and I just couldn't find it. I lost it. Oops. Nicola's right up there with Brimstone Fiends, huh? Interesting that Brimstone Fiends are that high. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 above the next demon, the Hell Sentinel. 7 above Ice Fiends. Interesting. And that Nicola is right up there too. Like Nicola, I've encountered on multiple videos, and I've always been really scared of him. And this is my justification: is that he's as powerful as a Brimstone Fiend, more or less. He's more powerful than an Ice Fiend, according to the game. And you encounter him on like Shoals 2 or Snake 1. I think one of my favorite streamers, Zoopy Jubles, in fact, the one who inspired me to start streaming. Thank you, Zoopy Jubles. Well, maybe it wasn't Zoopy Jubles. Anyway, regardless, one of the other streamers that I watched had a video where they encountered Nicola within sight of the entrance to the snake pit, and just had a really rough time with it because they couldn't do the snake pit until they got electricity resistance, basically. Anyway, yeah, Orb Gardens, Titans are right up there. Interesting. Sort of normal, quote-unquote, normal Pandemonium Lords, non-unique Pandemonium Lords, are kind of way down there. They're less powerful than Helephants. Oh, that's cool. The Sphinx shapeshifter, the shapeshifter as a Sphinx, is slightly stronger than a regular Sphinx. Or maybe they're all tied and it's just sorting them out by I don't know, alphabetical order or something. I don't know for sure. I am making inferences and assumptions as to the fact that each monster is less powerful than the one before it. We can infer that they are, or at least that not too many things are tied for a certain power level. Because this does seem to be... Okay, yeah. 13 Shadow Dragons, a Shadow Dragon Shapeshifter. I don't know. This does seem to be reasonable in terms of the difficulty that I had killing them. I mean, not entirely one-to-one accurate, I would say, but I mean that relative strength is a difficult thing to measure. Anyway, here. Let me. Sorry, I don't mean to blast your eyes there, but I wanted to go back up and sort of slowly scroll down so that you can pause it at any point and see the whole list. Since I did stop several times earlier, I figure that you can find those yourself as well. But just in case, this is kind of a cool way to... I feel like if you had nothing but this list, and you knew that... I mean, this would give you the frequency and relative power level of basically every monster in the game. I feel like that's a huge, huge advantage to have. If you had a way to search through it quickly, you could just glance at any situation and think, well, this is rough. I mean, to be fair, some of these numbers may be incredibly skewed. I mean, I did spend a ton of time in Pandemonium, so, you might not normally find 135 sun demons in a run. And also, I suppose this is including the extended endgame, so this list will give you no idea of what you would encounter throughout the regular dungeon. I killed a lot of dudes. Granite Grant was strong. We had a really good run, dear viewers. This was, man, so much fun. I'm really excited. Wow. Oh, I guess, well, that would be kind of tricky. I think that, maybe I can check one of my other videos and see if I can find the high score list, because I do want to compare the score from a 15 rune run with and one where I went back on purpose and picked up a bunch of artifacts and unique items and whatnot to boost my score, rather than just, grabbing the orb as soon as I see it and running out. Yeah, I will do that, and I will tell you before this video is done what the how this compares. Wow, 10,080 creatures vanquished. That's just so cool. Oh. That wasn't even counting the collateral kills, all the things that my summoned creatures killed. Oh, good grief. The boss of Tartarus, killed by presumably a dragon? Oh, wow. Did some work. Still feel like we pulled our weight. We did most of the heavy lifting ourselves. Yeah, 428. So 4%. Vanquish creatures. Others. I guess, yeah, others would be hostile monsters that somehow killed other hostile monsters. Going a little faster through this one. 518 fire vortices. Maybe these are also things that we summoned that died? I don't know. Or maybe they were fire vortices from other spells that just fizzled out of existence? I don't know. There were a lot of them, though. Grand total, exactly 12,000 creatures vanquished. Well, maybe it rounds up or something. I don't know, but that's still no. I think that's right. I think it's 12,000 creatures. That's pretty awesome. This is our recap. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, I'm just gonna start scrolling. And sorry, if you really wanted to read through all this, I suppose if you have that kind of dedication, you can pause it, and maybe I'll do a montage of my my morgue files at some point with some of the characters I've won, and some of the characters with whom I've won, and some of the characters that I've not succeeded with. What is this action? I don't know what this means. Oh, I think I do. From levels 1 through 3, then 4 through 6, then 7 through 9. I performed those. Oh, that's so cool. Huh. How cool. I hit a lot of things with Morning Stars. Or at least tried to hit a lot of things with Morning Stars. That's it. Alright, so, paging all the way back up at the top. Sorry for the eye bleed. List the score somewhere. There it is. Okay. So, 8,044,022. Let me see if I can... Let's see if I can find another high score here. Because I really am curious. I want to see how I did, how I stack up against myself. Well, and also the difference that 12 extra runes makes. Huh. So what do we have? 8,044,000. My next highest is 2,281,000. Yeah, that's a pretty big difference. With the other two wins being 1,770,000 and 1,650,000. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, and I have one other character who sadly died, but could have grabbed the orb and run out had he chosen to do so. That was at 1,187,000. So The runes make a big difference, and maybe all the other stuff that I carried out with me. That's really neat. Well, it's been really fun, dear viewers. I'm glad you stuck it out with me. This was a very fun character to play. I feel like I've finally achieved some level of mastery of this game. And I can't wait to make some more videos and show how wrong I am with that statement. So, thanks so much for watching, and this is all for Granite Grant. I'll see you next time.